Hi, I'm coming to you from a campground in Texas. My name is Lisa Bradshaw. I'm the founder of a nonprofit called the Don't Wait Project, and I'm traveling the country in search of people who are living Don't Wait stories. Last spring, I traveled to 7 western states interviewing people, and this year I'm traveling to 12 or 13 southern states. Most of the stories are planned in each state, but we also have room for stories that aren't planned, which turned out to be some of the biggest gems last time. So we just invite you to travel with us on the tour, to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, Don't Wait Project, and see if there's anything for you. We have a variety of different topics and different stories. We're trying to find something for everyone. So we hope you'll come along and enjoy the tour with us, and we'll see you on the road. One stop along the Don't Wait Project tour led me to Just Workout Gym in Charlotte, North Carolina, where I learned more about Rocksteady Boxing. I talked with certified Rocksteady boxing coach Kelly Evans.
So my history, going back when I was 8, I was doing some Golden Glove work, which is just local stuff, you know, going to the gym, learning how to punch and kick because my dad thought that would be cool. Scared all the time because I was like, no, I don't want to spar. But that's how it started. Oh. And so I learned the basics back then when I was a kid, and then learned a lot more when I got in my 20s. So I started martial arts. And I didn't start until I was 25, but I did it professionally for 5 years. And so there's a little bit of a difference. So I went from being a student to an instructor pretty quick, on my own school for years. So I got to give back a lot, which is super important when it comes to learning what you're doing. So I've been on both sides of that coin. So I've taken all that training, and just, you know, when this popped up and it was introduced to me, it was just that, you know, karma here. It was ready to happen. So I said, hey, I've got this background. I don't know much about Parkinson's.
Well, that's what we were talking about earlier, is you knew about the training that you would be, you know, you could adapt to that training because you had a boxing history, but Parkinson's was a completely new dimension for you. Totally
different clientele. However, I knew it would translate our boxing to what they needed. Mm-hmm. And so once I found out about it, I went and got the training to get the specific affiliation with Rocksteady, and so we just started right in, one boxer at a time.
How long have you been doing it?
We've been at it for 3 years as of yesterday.
I met earlier the woman whose husband was your first client.
Yes.
What was it like the first time you did it? Did it start off, I mean, you have one person, so you're doing more like one-on-one than a class?
It was, because I wanted to start off soft anyway because of, you know, my own insecurities about what am I doing. And what I realized was nothing's changed. It's just a label. All I have to do is box and quit making a bigger thing out of it than it really was. And so John and I kept doing what we do one-on-one, and then I just one client at a time said, okay, I can do this. And so I told you earlier, I did 2-hour assessments back then so I could really learn about all the things that, you know, are entailed for that individual with what they were dealing with. And in that process, that taught me a lot about how I could even change the class, because I was hearing their struggles. And I went into it thinking it was all going to be a physical struggle. And what I found out was, oh wow, there's an emotional component and this, you know, the psychological side of things too. And so that's really kind of changed our path with our classes.
And are any two patients alike? I mean, how it manifests, what symptoms you see?
There's certainly some crossover with, you know, certain things with the tremors and, you know, the gait and their inabilities to move certain ways, change levels, blood pressure problems. However, each boxer does have something unique to themselves, whether that's just they can tell you it's something in my left foot. I get this weird little thing and tingle in my forearm. And so, but in the, you know, the big scale of things, we can't focus too much on that. We just try to give them the big picture big movements and put them through their paces from that standpoint. And I do have boxers that do attend with me one-on-one and do some of these, personal training side of things, and that's when I can focus a little bit on more of those little subtleties that happen to them. But from the big scheme, we really try to stick within the big movements and just constantly trying to integrate mind and body.
So when you work with a client, what's the longest you work with one person? And when you work with that client, what kind of progress do you see?
Well, that's a good question. So if we're doing a one-on-one, our classes are an hour long. We offer 12 hours a week. So we try to split it 6 and 6 because we do run 2 separate classes, one for the level 1-2 boxer, and then a more progressed into the disease is a 3-4-5 boxer. And so each of them get a fair amount of classes to choose from. Classes are an hour long. And it'll be no different than you and I training together. We start with a nice, full body warm up. We progress into the stations that we have, which implement, boxing. Sometimes they're balance. They're more cognitive based. They can be the speed bag, more timing and rhythm. And we put those together. And then some stations we put it all together. So, but I did get some good feedback yesterday from a boxer who's hopefully going to be here today. She's at 1 o'clock, and out of nowhere she stops me and says, "Hey, I want you to know the memory clinic I've been going to retested me Monday." And I said, "Okay." And I didn't even know she'd been tested. And so when she's telling me, I said, "Well, okay, tell me a little about tests." She told me, and she says, "Well, here's what I want you to know. Every one of my scores was up 31%.
Wow.
So, wow. We see it as a physicality thing, right? And you and I touched on that, and I was like, that's that overlooked component. That wow, because the mind navigates the body in everything that we do. So the sharper her mind gets, the better she performs. And the things that you and I overlook too, like driving a car, her ability to see things coming,
And navigate.
And navigate them, exactly. Being able to react like you and I would in a safe way. Because that's one of our biggest concerns, when they're walking, when they're moving outside of here. Because in here we have a controlled environment. We know where they're moving and how, and that's a plan. And we know when we put an unstable environment in front of them, so we'll control that. But out there, I can't do that. And so for them to have that confidence, come back and say, "Hey, I feel better, and I was able to do this. At the grocery store, I almost tripped on the curb. And I had one say I was walking out of the restaurant and tripped, but I didn't fall." That's
Falling
it.
in any situation as you get older, or any kind of disease where you've lost strength and muscle tone, that's always a great fear. So
huge concern, right?
Parkinson's even.
Yeah, it's a huge concern for everybody. And we deal mostly with an older clientele. And so that's been a focus for us for years on, strengthening and posture work, which we touched on earlier too, because posture is balance, and and having the strength, if they do fall, can I break that fall? Do I have the strength to protect myself? And so that something might bend, but it doesn't break, because that trip and fall that breaks, then that can be a real problem. And then we end up in the hospital, and without motion, everything can fall apart.
You've done it 3 years, right?
3 years, and our growth really has been from a holistic approach. Because I started off, of course, I knew what my wheelhouse was, which was, hey, let's punch, let's do these things. And when appropriate, I'll add the martial arts component, the kicking, and for the balance work, the core work, and just keeping them upright. And so as time has evolved, we've kind of started challenging ourselves to what can we do to challenge their mind while staying in motion, and what does that look like, and how many ways can we make them move, and gain that confidence back. And so later on we'll demonstrate some of those ways that we make them react, keep a sequence, broken patterns, regain that patterns, half beats, full beats, stuff that means nothing to you now, but you'll see it when we demonstrate it, and it's a big challenge. And it works. That's the main thing, is it works. And I feel like every one of them gains something from it. And it might not be the same. It's different for everybody, and I'll hear different things, but I know it worked. I've seen it.
How has holding these classes and doing the one-on-one training, you're doing it to give them more stability, helping with their mind-body connection. What is it giving to you?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. You know, the thing that I didn't see coming was the emotional component, honestly, for them and me. In the class, you know, like I said, everything started off with just that physicality. And as I got to know them, of course, there's a person behind this label. And so you start to get personal with them. And they've been with us now since the beginning, 3 years. So you make a connection. And so you get that emotional connection. Empathy's certainly something that grows on you because, you know, when you come from a healthy state and they're used to training the general population and they're just doing, you know, whatever you tell them to do and they can do it. And then all of a sudden you see the limitations in front of you and you realize they're not just physical. They're mental and they're emotional and you see it on the surface. And so it's very challenging, but it's made me a 10 times better trainer because, interesting enough, some of the things that I had created for the Parkinson's group, I wasn't doing for you. I wasn't doing for myself. And so I realized, well, wait a second, I need that training too. Matter of fact, you need that training. And it kind of infiltrated through the whole studio with other trainers. We have clients and they'll come to us going, hey, why don't I box? And they saw that happen. And there's something special too about boxing though. There's an interaction, you know, between, especially when you'll see me working the focus mitts and there's that exchange of two people kind of dancing together. And so there's just that interesting component there that you gain with each other and you just gain this deeper knowledge too of who's in front of you. And that's pretty cool. That's an interesting, intimate kind of relationship. So.
After talking with Rocksteady boxing coach and owner of Just Workout Gym, Kelly Evans, I gathered together the participants of Rocksteady, and they talked about their individual experiences and outcomes as Parkinson's patients who've become like family through the boxing program.
I could say life-changing, to the point where normalcy is more achievable because on the weeks that we work out, I'm sure you guys can attest to this, my wife can tell a huge difference from when I do come, when I'm not able to come.
What are some of the differences, examples?
Better sleep, a little bit better sleep, less of what you see here. My rigidity gets a little bit better. My thought process, my cognitive problems get better. My speech is better. So it's just all...
Everything's better.
Exactly, for the most part, yeah.
I feel like it's letting my family down. My family this is my family, amongst other relationships that I have with my children, obviously. But this is, if I don't show up and I keep up with them, I'm letting them down, but I'm also letting myself down. And it's very, very emotional in the sense of, and sensitive to all of us to be friends first, and then our Parkinson's patients second, with the same goal in mind, and that is to fight Parkinson's till we can't fight anymore, or we beat it.
Part of why I wanted to come here and tell this story is because the Don't Wait Project to me is, and the stories that we're telling are all different and they're for everyone. And to see you all out here living your Don't Wait life, no matter the obstacles, you know, we all get lazy in our lives and don't show up at the gym for whatever reason, but you guys have a whole other reason to be here. So that's why I wanted to tell the story, because you guys are shining examples of people living a don't wait life, and you face obstacles we can't imagine.
Well, that's the good thing about this is everybody that's here is sick, right? Or have some sort of symptoms, but no one uses it as an excuse or a reason. So it's a self-accountancy.
Anything else you want to add in?
I've recently been diagnosed. I'm probably one of the newer people in the program here. You know, you asked what changes we have seen. We'd be better off asking my wife the question, because she was one of the ones when I first went to the doctor, and you know, she told him, you know, we go on walks, and my husband is 10 feet behind me the whole time. It's something I wasn't even aware of. I used to be the guy pacing her. Since we got into the program, we are walking. I'm keeping up with her. She's noticed that. She told me my posture is better. And they're not things that I would necessarily notice right off the bat. So when I was first diagnosed and talking to the doctor, she's chirping in with all these things that I'm thinking, I didn't know I had those issues. But I've been doing this program now for about going on 2 months, and she told me the changes are just tremendous.
Just in that amount of time?
In that amount of time. And then a lot of the spouses will sit while their spouse is doing whatever exercises we're doing, and they're telling her it too. Oh, I've noticed your husband is standing taller. I notice he's doing exercises better. I notice this and that. And they're not things that we might see ourselves. So that's been very, very helpful. And it's been very welcoming to my wife, because when she walked in, all the other spouses kind of said, hey, here's
So she's
what our
getting that
experiences
support
have been
with
as well.
it, not even doing the class.
So it's not just the group of guys or gals here doing the work, but it's the spouses as they're talking and providing information as well.
Pete, you stand up much straighter, and we're going to have to alternate.
How about you?
Well, I can beat Pete. I think this is my 4th class, and I'm feeling the strength, which is helping in balance this morning. I almost got a ground view of the earth from tripping over the hose, but my strong legs kept me going, and I didn't fall. But I can't say enough good things about the program. And every time it's different. Like Tuesday when I came, it was a lot of shoulder exercises, and I can barely lift my arms. But I thought it'll be different today. It won't be that. But Kelly and Aaron and Julia, everybody's just awfully supportive and good.
I was diagnosed back in August of this year, and my wife is a CrossFit nut, and she said, you can come to CrossFit with me. I said, I can't do it because I don't have the balance. I've lost it. And so I talked to Sykes, we saw Gary, and he recommended a physician we go see. I think we're seeing the same one now, and I couldn't believe that's what I had. And when I first came to the first couple of meetings, I was kind of like not too happy with it, and was maybe expecting more out of it than I should have. But ever since that first or second visit, I look forward to coming. I come 3 days a week, and then we go to Charleston and come back. And when I miss a session, I can really tell my personality changes, my overall demeanor changes. And I mean, these people are my friends now. I look forward to coming. Kelly and his staff does a great job. Really
So
do.
when you say, when you first started coming and your expectation was off, you probably didn't, you think that there's small things that you're doing, but then you're seeing the big improvements.
Yes, definitely. I mean, when somebody says, what do you do? I say, I step on, I have to walk on the colors on the floor, and say, what good does that do? And I said, I said, well, you try it a couple of times and you'll see. But I really enjoy coming.
Anyone else want to add anything?
Well, I was diagnosed almost 11 years ago, and I found that my world was getting small. I didn't want to go anywhere. And this has just helped me open up. The physical benefits are obvious. Everybody's mentioned those. But mine have been mental also. It's made my world bigger. And I don't mean to cry. I just don't know what I would do without this group.
We all feel that way, I think.
I think it's interesting too, because I was just about to comment on what you were saying. My father had Parkinson's at age 40 and lived for another 21 years. And so I grew up with 6 kids, a mom, and a dad who slept on a hospital bed in the dining room. And it was really like when you have a disease or an accident at onset, you get casseroles and people feel sorry for you and call you up. She had a disabled husband in the time when ADA didn't exist, and people didn't bring you casseroles because it was going to go on for 20 years. So our community is so much better now, and we have so many more resources, human and otherwise. So I just come to get in touch with the good thing, and I love coming. most days.
This class is like my second family. I love coming here. I come 4 to 5 days a week, and I live an hour away.
Oh, wow.
But this class has really helped me with my balance, my core balance, my focus, my memory. I was telling Kelly the other day, I go to memory therapy also, but my brain wave activity has increased 30%. My reading comprehension has gone up 20 points. I mean, I had to retire because I couldn't remember what I was doing at my job, and I worked in an operating room. You can't do that. So, I mean, really, these people are like family. We all have the same disease. We all look different, but you feel like a normal person in here. You're not treated like you have Parkinson's, and Kelly makes sure of that.
And I did promise her I'd make her taller. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 3, 2, 1, squat. Five, 3, 2, yeah, very good. Give me 2, then 4. Boom, same 10, breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, squat, step out and in. Yeah, uppercuts, go. Go. 2 more. Last time. 10 punches at 2. Go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Jump turn. Yep, and go back. Boom. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jump turn the other way. Boom. Face up. 1, 2, 1, 2. Step out and in. 10 punches at 2. Go. Awesome. I'll take those. 1, 2, 3. Hold. Go. Hold. Go. 2, 3. Balance. Turn. Slam. Red. Yellow, orange. Orange, blue. Green, blue. Purple, yellow. Last one. Red, blue, yellow. Keep jump turning, you can do it. That's it. Finish. Boom. Right hand, go, rock and roll. 1, 2, step out and in. 1, 2, good. 1, 2. Good, 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 good. Keep going, looking good. Keep that rhythm going. Last one, last one. Very good. Keep it going. Give me exactly 10. Go. Good. One more time. Come on. Come on. Purple. Say it as you do it. Red, blue. Orange, yellow. Purple, green, red. One more time. Give me yellow, green, purple. Boom. Done. Woo!
The Toyota RAV4 is the best-selling SUV in its class. The legendary RAV4 started selling in 1994 as Toyota's first compact SUV. In addition to the gas engine RAV4, Toyota is the only brand offering 4 hybrid trim levels. Its cabin serves up a sleek design, and rear seat passengers enjoy plenty of room. Come test drive a RAV4 at Town Toyota today. The best-selling SUV just got better.
You know, what I like to tell people about Cheap Fitness is you'll never get bored here and you'll never be judged. My top priority is making sure people feel welcome here, no matter your age, experience, or ability. The majority of new people that come through our door, they've never even put on a boxing glove. That's why our staff is here to help you and show you through the ropes.
It's hugely empowering. I mean, you walk out and you feel like you've accomplished something.